Hello there and welcome to Legal Break. I'm Maureen Akers and with us today is Gary Bruce. Gary, thank you for joining us each and every Wednesday.
Good to be here again. Thank you.
Well, today we're talking about workman's comp injuries and how are they different than I guess just a normal injury? There is some difference, right?
Well, the injury may not be different, but the mechanism for dealing with it is. You know, workers' comp, if you get hurt on the job,
right,
your employer should have workers' compensation coverage. And when does that kick in? It kicks in when you're hurt, and there's supposed to be a panel on the wall that says who you go to see if you're hurt. A lot of people don't know where the panel is. If they don't, you can kind of go anywhere, but you really ought to talk to your supervisor or boss beforehand, and hopefully they'll get you the care you need. Comp is different because we don't care whose fault it is. There are exceptions to everything in the law. You know, if you just stumble and fall, there may be a defense to it. But generally, it's not if you just drop something on your hand and get hurt real bad. It doesn't matter that it was your fault.
Right.
If you're hurt on the job doing your job, then it should be covered. And so what does comp owe you? Comp insurance should pay your medical bills, and then if you lose time from work, they pay 2/3 of your average weekly wage, with caps on that, of course. But it's really not a fault-based system. But
it's just made to take care of you.
It's supposed to take care, and that's the give and take of it. We're not going to worry about it whether it was your fault or not. We want you well. We want you back to work.
Right.
And so that's what workers' comp does.
So, as we're talking about legal situations, should someone contact a lawyer if they're involved in one of these situations, or when should they?
Well, I don't mind talking to people about it, and we do often. But we don't always get involved. If they're paying your medical, they're paying your time off of work, they're paying for your trips back and forth to the doctor, all that kind of thing, then I don't see need at that time for you to have a lawyer start the process. You need to be careful always about statute of limitations and those kind of things. You can't let these things drag on too long. But if it turns out that it's a serious issue and you don't think you're going to go back to work, then I think it helps to consult with a lawyer about it. If they're not doing what they're supposed to do, then that's when lawyers get involved. But there's things lawyers can offer to help through the process, really at any time. A lot of times we just lay in the weeds and say, you know, you like your job, you want to be there, you don't really need us right now, but we're here to answer questions for you.
They're in the weeds. I think you're a little more prominent than that.
Well, not necessarily.
But on that note, you definitely can help anybody if they have some more legal questions, right?
Right. There are times if you've had a serious injury, any kind of injury really at the work, and things aren't going the way you think they ought to, that's probably a time to call a lawyer and talk about it. Doesn't mean the lawyer's going to get involved, but you can learn something.
And definitely find out. Thanks so much for joining us, Gary, and we look forward to seeing you on the very next Legal Break.